tower is the most suitable gas-liquid contacting device involving highly corrosive fluids. A. Sieve plate. B. Packed. C. Bubble cap plate. D. None of these. The correct answer is packed. At equal mass velocities, the values of film coefficients for gases as compared to that for liquids are generally A. higher, B. lower, C. same, D. unpredictable. The correct answer is lower. The ratio of the largest load in a test to the original cross-sectional area of the test specimen is called the stress. A. yield point, B. breaking, C. ultimate, D. none of these. The correct answer is ultimate. Baffle spacing is generally the ID of the shell. A. more than, B. not greater than, C. not less than 1/5 of, D. both B and C. The correct answer is both B and C. The wall thickness of thin cylindrical shell with hemispherical ends is that of the spherical ends. A. equal to, B. more than, C. less than, D. either B or C depends on maximum permissible internal pressure. The correct answer is more than. A rupture disc is provided in chemical equipments as an accessory meant for A. relieving excess pressure, B. creating turbulence, C. enhancing mixing rate, D. avoiding vortex formation. The correct answer is relieving excess pressure. In a vertical short tube evaporator calandria type, the A. tube dia of 2.57.5 cms, tube length of 75 to 100 cms, and cylindrical drum dia of 16 meters are normally used. B. area of central downtake is equal to 40 to 100 of total cross-sectional area of the surrounding tube. C. liquor is inside the tube while the steam is outside the tube. D. all ABC. The correct answer is all ABC. In a multipass shell and tube heat exchanger, the problem of differential expansion between the shell and tube passes is taken care of by using A. U-bend, B. floating head tube sheet, C. either A or B, D. neither A nor B. The correct answer is either A or B. In a shell and tube heat exchanger, the shortest center-to-center distance between the adjacent tubes is A. called tube pitch, B. called tube clearance, C. always less than the diameter of the tube, D. none of these. The correct answer is called tube pitch. Any shell opening greater than 5 cms for a storage tank must be reinforced for reason of A. preventing the local overstressing of the shell around the opening, B. reduction of discontinuity in shape at the junction, C. making the joint leak-proof, D. none of these. The correct answer is preventing the local overstressing of the shell around the opening. Minimum tube pitch recommended for shell and tube heat exchangers is about times the outside diameter of the tube. A. 1.25, B. 1.75, C. 2.5, D. 3.5. The correct answer is 1.25. Liquid redistribution should be done in a packed tower packed with Ruskig rings every 6 meters or times the column diameter, whichever is lower. A. 2.53.0, B. 57.5, C. 1012.5, D. 1520. The correct answer is 2.53.0. Slope of countercurrent flow rotary dryer is in the range of meter. A. 0 to 0.08, B. 0 to 0.8, C. 0 to 1.5, D. 0 to 2.2. The correct answer is 0 to 0.08. In case of saddle packing, e.g. berl and intralox saddles, the maximum size of the packing should not exceed of the column diameter. A. L5th, B. L15th, C. L30th. D. L50th. The correct answer is L15th. Seamless pipe is made A. From rolled strips formed into cylinders and seam welded. B. By extrusion casting into static and centrifugal molds. C. By forging a solid round, piercing it by simultaneously rotating, forcing it over a piercer point and further reducing it by rolling gas drawing. D. Both B and C. The correct answer is both B and C. The thermal stress in a metallic bar does not depend upon the A. changes in temperature, B. cross-sectional area, C. both A and B, D. neither A nor B. The correct answer is cross-sectional area. The minimum baffle height should be A. equal to the impeller diameter, B. twice the impeller diameter, C. twice the tank diameter, D. 3/4 of the tank height. The correct answer is twice the impeller diameter. For turbulent flow Henry 2100 of low viscosity fluid 20 cp in steel pipes, the optimum inside pipe diameter is given by weir Q fluid flow rate feet 3 sec fluid density pound feet 3 fluid viscosity centipoise di optimum inside pipe diameter inches. A. di opt 3.9 Q 0.45 0.13. B. di opt 3.9 Q 0.45 0.95. C. di opt 4.7 Q 0.36 3.2 0.13. D. di opt 3 Q 0.36 0.88. The correct answer is D. opt 3.9 Q 0.45 0.13. To avoid the tearing of the plate of an edge, the margin, i.e. the minimum distance from the center of the rivet hole to the nearest edge of the plate, should be equal to A. 0.5 d, B. d, C. 1.5 d, D. 2.5 d. The correct answer is 1.5 d. The normal range of velocity of water in pipes is m sec. A. 0.1 0.5, B. 12, C. 1050, D. 1530. The correct answer is 12. Baffles are provided in a shell and tube heat exchanger to increase the turbulence and velocity of the shell side fluid. Which of the following shaped baffles does not fall in the category of transverse baffle? A. Segmental baffle, B. Flat plate extending across the wall, C. Disc type baffle, D. Helical type baffle. The correct answer is flat plate extending across the wall. A certain pressure vessel manufacturer avoids doing reinforcements calculations for openings by always providing a reinforcing pad extending up to double the diameter of the opening and of the same material and thickness as that of the shell wall. If area compensation is accepted as a code guideline, his approach leads to safe design. A. Only if the opening is on spherical vessel. B. Only if the opening is on a vertical cylindrical vessel. C. Only if the opening is on a horizontal cylindrical vessel. D. Irrespective of the shape of the vessel. The correct answer is irrespective of the shape of the vessel. In a riveted joint, the number of rivets decreases from the innermost row to the outermost row. A. Chain, B. diamond, C. zigzag, D. none of these. The correct answer is diamond. Large process vessels operating under extreme temperature and pressure conditions are normally clad lined with materials like stainless steel, aluminium, nickel, its alloys, copper, its alloys, and titanium. The cladding thickness is generally about % of the total thickness. A. 1 to 5, B. 10 to 20, C. 30 to 40, D. 40 to 50. The correct answer is 10 to 20. Heat transfer coefficient for a horizontal condenser as compared to a vertical condenser operating under similar conditions is A. Same, B. Less, C. About 3 times, D. About 0.33 times. The correct answer is about 3 times. Pick out the wrong statement pertaining to the design of the distillation column. A. Generally a skirt clearance of 0.5 to 1.5 is recommended to prevent plugging of the slots by residue build-up. B. The purpose of the slot is to disperse the gas into the liquid in the form of small bubbles. C. If sufficient slot area is not provided, the gas may pass through the skirt clearance. D. None of these. The correct answer is none of these. The longitudinal stress induced in a thin-walled cylindrical vessel under internal pressure is A. PD2T, B. PD4T, C. PDT, D. PD8T. The correct answer is PD4T. In distillation columns, bubble caps are held in place over trays by A. Rivets, B. A hold-down bar, C. bolts, D. Both B and C. The correct answer is both B and C. The buckling tendency of compression members is always in the direction of the A. least radius of gyration, B. axis of the load, C. perpendicular to the axis of the load, D. none of these. The correct answer is least radius of gyration. In case of plain carbon steel butt welded joints are used for shell plate thickness CMS. A. 1.2, B. 0.5, C. 3.8, D. 6.8. The correct answer is 3.8. The average velocity in the tubes of a 1,4 heat exchanger is times that in 1,1 heat exchanger having the same size number of tubes and operated at same liquid flow rate. A2, B12, C4, D14. The correct answer is 4. When one of the fluids is highly corrosive and has fouling tendency, it should A. preferably flow inside the tube for its easier internal cleaning, B. preferably flow outside the tube, C. flow at a very slow velocity, D. flow outside the tube when the flow is countercurrent and inside the tube when the flow is co-current. The correct answer is preferably flow inside the tube for its easier internal cleaning. The Rio is normally taken as A. 0.15030, B. 0.50.65, C. 0.750.85, D. 0.600.90. The correct answer is 0.15030. A. N is used for changing the direction of a pipeline. A. Elbow, B. Union, C. flange, D. disc compensator. The correct answer is elbow. Maximum plate efficiency is achieved in case of flow. A. split, B. cross, C. cascade, D. reverse. The correct answer is cross. The LMTD correction factor Ft is defined as the A. ratio of true temperature difference to the LMTD, B. ratio of LMTD to the true temperature difference, C. difference of true temperature difference and the LMTD, D. geometric mean of the true temperature difference and the LMTD. The correct answer is ratio of true temperature difference to the LMTD. The clearance between two tubes in a shell and tube heat exchanger is known as ligament, whose minimum value is the outside diameter of the tube, but in no case it should be less than 4.5 mm. A equal to B half, C 1/4, D 3/4. The correct answer is 1/4. The ratio for the rate of washing to the final rate of filtration in a washing type of plate and frame filter is A 0.25, B 0.50, C 0.75, D 1.25. The correct answer is 0.25. Normally the length to diameter ratio of rotary dryers varies from 4 to 10, and for its economic operation the number of transfer units NTU for such dryers varies from A 1.5 2.5, B 3.5 C 7.5 10.0, D 10-15. The correct answer is 1.5 2.5. Value of Peclet number 0 is the representative of A. laminar flow, B. complete back mixing, C. plug flow, D. eddy diffusivity 0. The correct answer is complete back mixing. Poisson's ratio of a material is the ratio of unit lateral strain to the unit axial elongation within its elastic limit. The value of Poisson's ratio for structural and pressure vessel steel may be taken as A 0.01, B 0.3, C 0.75, D 0.95. The correct answer is 0.3. Removable connection of tubes to tube sheet is called A. ferrule, B. socket, C. nipple, D. saddle. The correct answer is ferrule. Stress-strain diagram for low-carbon steel mild steel is shown below in the fig. The point A on the fig represents the A. breaking stress, B. ultimate stress, C. elastic limit, D. yield point. The correct answer is elastic limit. Typical static submergence for bubble cap plate column operating at atmospheric pressure may be around A 2.5, B 0.5, C 5, D 50 of the plate spacing. The correct answer is 0.5. In the allocated cap area, bubble caps are generally arranged on equilateral triangular pitch. Number of caps fixed on a plate is with A clearance of 2575 mm, B cap pitch of 1.32 times the cap diameter, C either A or B, D neither A nor B. The correct answer is either A or B. The length of straight rectangular weir used on cross-flow trays is generally the column diameter, A 0.6 0.8 times, B equal to C twice, D 2 feet irrespective of for column 3 feet diameter. The correct answer is 0.6 0.8 times. For couplings and unions would be A 60, B 200, C 350, D negligible. The correct answer is negligible. What is the slope of the operating line in the rectifying section of a distillation coloumn? A 0, B, C 1, D 1. The correct answer is 1. Stage efficiency for packed tower varies with the A type size of packing, B fluid rates and fluid properties, C operating pressure and column diameter, D all A, B and C. The correct answer is all A, B and C.